Hi everyone, and welcome to our very first monthly comic series that I've decided we're going to do this year. And by me, I do mean me. I decided all by myself, and then I'm like, everyone must do it with me. You're all being forced. To start it off, I picked LumberJanes, which was something that had been put forward as our comics month for December, and I thought it'll be a good starting place. Karina has a actual physical copy, whereas the rest of us all have digital. So yeah, we'll start talking about what we thought overall of the story. Kirsten, you want to start?
I read it quite a while ago, so
Do you want someone else?
I don't remember a lot. No, I'll just give my overall impressions. Overall, I really liked it. I did find it was very like bam, 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 bam. Really, I suppose a lot of action, but I mean it was very fast moving. I found. It didn't take me very long to read, but I don't remember the plot really specifically. So I've been sort of flicking through it trying to remind myself. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I found it fun and. Yeah, I'll talk about more when people remind me of stuff and I go, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Kim, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. I think the story, it is very action orientated. It is very bam, bam, bam. I can't even remember the storyline and I read most of it today. It's just like there's a lot that happened in a very short space of time. So it's really interesting. It just definitely kept me reading. I didn't really put it down at all unless I had to. And that's usually a good sign. If I keep reading and don't stop, it's usually because it's good. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
That's good. Karina, you want to go next?
I don't really have a lot to say other than I loved it. That's pretty much my assessment. Like, seriously, that's all I have to say. I really, really liked it. The end.
Mel?
Ditto.
We're doing well.
No, I particularly liked the fact that that this group of girls were presented in a way where they had lots of different body types. They were strong and powerful. It was not about how they looked. It was friendship based. I do think it was very muchly, and we know it is, intended for a young audience, which I think explains the fast-pacedness of the story. They don't explore things in a deep manner because, I mean, you just look at things like Harry Potter and that, and it's the same way when it first starts out because it's intended for a young audience, so it moves really, really quick with lots of action and not a lot of feelings expressed. So, yeah, but I loved it so, so very much. Yeah, lots to talk about, though.
What Mel said.
I really enjoyed it as well. I really liked the art style. I feel like Volume 1 was setting up to tell the story rather than telling a story of its own. Like, it was very much setting up the larger story. Like, there's, you know, the three-eyed foxes that disintegrate into nothing and the, like, weird lighthouse and the cave of things and the arrows and like there's all sort of things that are leading towards something that seems like it'll be a really interesting sort of takeaway, but you kind of don't get there in Volume 1 at all. So it'll be interesting to read Volume 2 because I haven't read it yet because I wanted to hold off so I didn't give away any spoilers because I feel like with these sorts of stories it's a lot more difficult to not give spoilers because so much of the story is like there's not much given in that first sort of volume.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the fact that they were girls that were being sort of, you know, superhero-esque type thing, you know, bam, bam, chop, but, you know, there's a, you know, one that's all very girly and, you know, they're not all the same sort of girls either.
Yeah.
And it's not about them being girls, like.
But even like I love the fact that even when they seem to be a particular stereotype, i.e. the one, I can't remember her name right now, but the one who's particularly girly girls tend to be smart and they sort of start presenting her that way. But then she's super strong as well. And
Molly.
The arm wrestling one.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, she was using her intelligence to do the arm wrestling and to win it. But you had to have strength to go with that and the gall to go into it. And that's not a girly girl thing. So I just loved all of those sorts of features where they sort of set it up. And, yeah, if you just looked at it superficially, you go, yeah, trope. But they defied it the whole way through too.
And it's April. That's the red-headed one. Molly's the blonde one.
April.
Oh, my bad.
Nah.
Sorry.
No,
I wanted
that's
to find
okay.
a picture before this started which had the names on their faces so I would remember which was which.
Yeah, that's what I got to the end of it and I'm like, I don't actually remember their names. It's like, I remember the characters, but I can't remember their names.
Which is funny because I'm probably going to segue the conversation a little bit here. But we were talking about, Naomi and I were talking about Rat Queens yesterday or today. To get my days mixed up.
Yesterday, I think.
And about I missed that hangout, and I actually really didn't like Rat Queens, but I know that everyone else did. And part of the issue I had with Rat Queens was the pacing and the fact that I didn't know who anybody was. But despite the fact that this had similar issues with pacing and with not being able to tell who anyone was, I didn't mind it so much, and I'm not really sure why that. I had other issues with Rat Queens, so maybe that's why it didn't bother me so much here.
I was going to say that I'd say that meant there was other issues that were in play, and this was just bothering you more so because these other issues were also so there. Because I find that, but even sometimes it's not even the book. If I'm just in a mood and I'm trying to enjoy a book, I won't get there because it's in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reread Rat Queens 3 times because I knew everyone else really liked it, and I was like, I don't get it.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't suggesting it was a mood for you. I was just meaning, like, for me, that's sometimes even something that can get in the way. So, yeah, but it's hard to pinpoint sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially the mood.
I'm trying to, like, I know in the first issues where, like, right at the beginning that she starts saying all their names. So Mal's the one with the buzz cut side with the dark hair that's scared of the sea monster.
Ripley's the one that's really tomboyish.
Yeah, with the blue
in her hair.
streak in her hair.
Mm-hmm.
April and what's the other girl's name?
April's the redhead. Molly is the blonde.
And Joe.
Joe, that's it.
Yeah. And Jen, of course, is the main girl, the counselor, sort of.
Yeah. I do like the fact that it seems like Molly and Joe? Is it Joe? What's her name?
Mal, I think you want.
Mal. Like they're sort of set up to be a couple, or at least it looks like that's what they're setting up.
Yeah.
They were blushing a lot at each other.
And there was hand-holding.
Yes.
There's hand-holding and cuddling and all that sort of
very
stuff.
worried about each other kind of stuff.
I mean, that could just be that they're very good friends too. Like,
but that's the thing about those sorts of relationships when they don't want to, like, they're clearly not wanting to make a big deal out of it. They just want it to be there. And so under those circumstances, that's how it presents, right? It's just a really good friendship. At least until it goes further, if it does. I don't know. How old do you think these guys are supposed to be?
Yeah. That's
12?
13? 12, 13?
Yeah, I thought it was sort of like tweens. They're tweens.
Yeah. This is where I was going.
Except for Ripley, who's meant to be a bit younger.
Well, now that's the interesting thing. Throughout the book, you feel like Ripley's a bit younger, but if you get to, the end cover pages, there's somewhere they're drawn a little bit more realistically, less cartoony, and Ripley doesn't look younger there.
April always looks older than she looks like in the pictures.
But that's kind of natural for someone who's dressed up like a little bit more so when, like, if you're in a group of girls at about that age and you dress up more, you're going to look older even though you're not.
April kind of looks like Kim Possible.
Yes.
Like she's got that sort of big fringe that Kim Possible has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I'm just trying to find the right picture.
Yeah, sometimes she does look younger and then other times she does look the same age.
And the thing is, too, is that at that age, it's quite possible.
And she's also very short compared to the rest of them.
Yeah,
and that could be it.
And young acting and tomboyish, and so she comes across as younger.
It's that age group, where there's, some of the girls will have hit puberty and others will not have. It's like when you're teaching kids at that age, there's really a huge difference.
Yeah.
Just in one group of kids that are all the same age.
they're probably between the ages of like 11 and 14. Like,
Well,
Yeah, that's
the
what
other
I'm
thing
saying.
too
And
is that,
like
I mean,
April
they
has eyes, and the others sort of don't really have any detail in their eyes, so she's sort of got those young-looking anime girl eyes.
Is this the picture you were talking about?
that's one that she particularly looks the same age to them to me there. Like, she definitely looks very, very much the same. This one I thought too, she doesn't look like Joe looks much older than the rest of them, but I think that's just, I don't know if you guys can see that one. But
Yeah.
I feel like in the images that were drawn by Noelle Stevenson, she looks the same age, but through the comics, she looks younger.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one to take. Like, we don't know. We don't have the background details on her to say whether or not that's which one is the one to take as the right one. I would assume we should take the comic as the right one, but
It could be slightly different ages though too, because
I wish actually. Sorry.
I was just going to say, like, I remember I was in Girl Guides, and there would be like several years, you know, like you'd have the ones that had just joined, and the girls that were nearly, you know, too old
Ready
to
to
be in
move
it
on.
anymore, you know.
yeah.
And it was kind of, I can't remember what ages it went from, but it was quite a spectrum of ages, and you'd all go on camp together and you'd all do things together. So I kind of got the impression it was sort of modelled off of that.
Well, it seems like a bit of an American summer camp.
And
they
that's what I was
usually
Yeah,
sort of range from sort of 10 to 11 through to sort of 14-ish.
yeah. I think it was the pledge thing at the beginning that made me think of guides.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the bit where it's like, and then there was something about God. And then
God, yeah.
That's so good, that bit.
Then a line about God or something.
yeah.
We
had
are
a lot
acknowledging we live in America. We've got to put something about God in, but we're not actually going to bother to remember it because it's not important.
Yeah. Like in the front, it's got like the line scribbled out, and then it says, then there's a line about God or whatever.
Yeah. I really
A lot
liked
of
that.
camps, like summer camps over in America, do have like not necessarily like a full like Pledge of Allegiance style thing, but they do have like a sort of saying or something for the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like
The
right
funny
at the
thing
end. Sorry.
I was just thinking, like, I remember reading the Babysitters Club, and they had a summer camp one, and they would have been 13 at the time when they went along, and they were the counsellors, and yet these guys aren't. And so that sort of clashes with my view of these sorts of camps, because what I know of these sorts of camps mostly comes from that summer special Babysitters Club that I read.
Well,
The
they
other
actually
thing is-
different ages.
They also have uniforms that are like
Girl
scout
Guides.
type uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Girl Scouts or Girl Guides or whatever.
Yeah.
Because, you know, with the little
Yeah, the little
things and
staff
stuff
and that.
I'm sure used to have a name that I can't remember what they're called now. But yeah.
It's definitely sort of a cross situation, I think, though. It's I think it's both like summer camp and both like Girl Guides. It's got elements from both of those experiences.
Cold water on my leg. There's just a lot of condensation on my bottle of water, and it all just poured down my leg.
It was trying to cool you down.
Just wants to be friends.
It's raining now. I don't need to be cooled down.
You sure? You can come down here. It's freezing.
Oh, man. It's so hot up here.
I had the
We
heater
were
on.
out. Oh, really? We were out all day at the park. It was like 36, 37 degrees today.
It was just
I must admit I prefer that it was cold.
Matt's all sunburnt all on his neck. He's whinging about
Oh,
it.
no.
I'm like, well, that's because you won't wear a proper hat. It's like, yeah, you look stupid. And I'm like, well, yeah, you look stupid.
That's funny. We went out before, and as we were going out, I put sunscreen all over because I'm me, and I do that. And I walked up to Ben, and he was like leaning over the table or something, and I just went up to him with the spray sunscreen and just sprayed him in the back of the neck. And he thought that it was water, and just sort of walked around with it on his neck for a sec, and then touched it. Was like, oh, thanks. Why did you get that?
Griffin.
He's already been burnt once, hasn't he?
The boy's at the door waiting for Mr. Nye to come get him. It ain't gonna happen, but you know, he'll stay hopefully for the next half hour.
I also really like these artifacts that they keep finding, like
Oh, the little
they found the ring.
Little coin.
Yeah.
They found the ring when they fought the wolf things, and then in the bathroom, Ripley finds the box with floating blue gems.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yep.
And then they're in the cave.
And then in
And
the
then, of course,
cave, there's
all the scouts.
Yeah.
Curse my having read the next one.
Yeah.
I didn't read it for this very purpose.
Yeah, but I read it
in a while
before I knew we were going to do this. I read it after it didn't get voted for the book club, the
Sorry.
comics month. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I can read this now, so I'll go get it because it's free from the library. And I read all 4 of them really fast, and I loved them. And then you announced it, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I was going to read number 2 before this hangout because I was like, I can't really remember the first one because I read it ages ago, but I didn't get around to that because I was out of the way.
Well, I've deliberately held off on the 5th one, which I have purchased, but I'm going to read the 2nd one before the 2nd hangout, and then I'll finish off the rest of the series after that. So that's February. Anyway, I
do like the monsters as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like they're not surprised enough by the sheer number of creatures with 3 eyes in this forest.
Yeah.
What happens?
It made me think that it's normal in their world that animals just have 3 eyes.
It's certainly
Because if I saw
twin girls.
monsters with 3 eyes, and then water monster with 3 eyes, and I'd be telling everyone that'll listen, oh my god, I saw foxes with 3 eyes. They had 3 eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was
Or
it?
they used to being
The
around
Yetis, the hipster Yetis.
their
Oh god, that was so good. I laughed so hard at that first one when they bump into each other and they both scream, and then he goes, "Oh right." Stupid
The CPR is so funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely smooching. It involves smooching. How will that help? You have to smooch her and blow into her lungs like she's a balloon. And it's smooch, nothing happens, and Ripley cannonballs into her.
Yeah. Go Ripley. I like the fact though that even though you can sort of see a particular pairing that happens throughout it, not just with Mal and Molly, but also with the others. But even though that sort of happens and they tend to interact a lot, so more so with their offsider, when they're moving around and when they're standing and things, they're not always just next to that person. They do mix it up.
Except Mal and Molly when they walk along just holding hands for a long period of time.
Yeah. Yeah, but even though they do that scene, later on you'll notice that they're not always with each other. They obviously are good friends with the others as well. So while it's almost like they just keep an eye on each other, but that doesn't stop them from interacting.
Yeah.
And then the eagle had 3 eyes too. I completely forgot about that. So basically every animal has 3 eyes.
Pretty much.
What about you?
Yeah. You just can't see my 3rd eye. I really love the the drawing, the sort of way that they've drawn when they're all going down the tunnel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Sort of side on view of the tunnel with all of them sliding down.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love the whole cave thing. Very
love
Indiana Jonesy, especially with Molly's hat at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good. Speaking of the drawings and things, I found it so strange how some of them had the little triple thing on their nose. constantly I kept looking at it. I'm just like, what is it actually meant to indicate? I don't understand. Why does this side-on nose have 3 little lumps at the end?
Purple thing, I have not noticed that
like,
at all.
Like nostrils and then like the tip of the nose kind of.
I totally get it, but like when you're doing it side on, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. It's Picasso-ish, you know. Like,
yes, it's definitely Picasso-ish.
Yeah. I really didn't pay attention, but now that you said that, I'm noticing it.
I never noticed it until you said it, and now I'm looking at it and going, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot see it at all anywhere. I don't know what you people are looking at.
I'm looking at the one with, like Molly in that scene's the only one where they've done it. Like that's the one in the cave. I'm looking through the cave one, and there's a lot. Well,
I noticed that Joe
almost
almost,
like it, but the rest have like triangular noses.
Joe always has a triangular nose, but the others get it at different point in times. April doesn't get it very much. It's mostly Ripley, Mal, and Molly.
Yeah.
I really noticed this issue. It's not really a problem. It's just that I was sort of like, what the,
Sorry, I'll be right back. I need to turn the fan up. It's too hot.
Oh, sorry, Misty. I put you on. I didn't want to eat them.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get hot sitting in this room because there's no aircon in here. And the aircon's out there, but the door's closed. So,
yeah.
RIP headphone users. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, it doesn't come through loud. Look, she has to stand on the arm of my chair to eat her biscuits.
Do you have the same soft kitty shirt that I have? I have that soft kitty
Mum
shirt.
got this. Mum got this for me for Christmas, and then she got my sister-in-law a pink one. Same one, pink.
Mine's grey.
Right. Yeah, this one's grey. You right, Missy?
I'll have to show you guys my shirt that Matt got me for Christmas, but I'll have to show it next hangout because I'm not going to look for it now. But it's very cool. It's got a tree with all people reading books in the tree. I'll see if I can find a picture of it.
That'll be good. Bring it to the next hangout because that's like just a normal hangout.
Oh, a chatting hangout.
Yeah, chatting hangout.
It's not just any normal hangout.
Sorry. I forgot
Chatting hangout.
Priya's birthday must bring cake. No, don't bring cake. She hates cake.
You guys can have cake. I can't have cake.
I don't think they know I'm at yours for my birthday.
That's not what I was implying.
I knew.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You told me all about your plans in January.
Oh, but they hadn't been confirmed yet.
No, they hadn't, but I was pretty sure that one was going to happen.
Well, yeah. That was sort of the only weekend it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see the 3 dimple thing now.
Yep.
You got it? It's very small. It's really quite small.
It's because there was a really sharp close-up of Jen, and they do it really harshly on her.
Mm.
I hadn't really noticed it on any of the others.
And like all through the like tunnel one, it's all there on, especially on Mel and Molly.
Yeah. Look, it's just a stylistic choice. It's not a big deal or anything. It's just that it's sort of like, I don't understand the logic behind this.
Maybe they just have deformed noses.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe
I mean, everything does seem to have 3 eyes, and no one seems to be worried about it.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love this shirt. I want it so bad. We should just make like this shirt. We should just make this the Lud shirt. Since we're struggling to make a Lud shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, and I see who it's by as well.
That's why Matt bought it.
Oh, right. Didn't even look at that. That makes it a bigger selling point. Oh, they've got a V-neck too.
What did you guys think of the Boy Scouts?
I prefer a V-neck. Don't tell Matt.
The Boy Scouts was
around neck.
I must admit, when the Boy Scouts first appeared and they were all into cookies and things, I was like, just a bit of gender flipping going on here. But I really liked it when they started to things like when they brought the camp dude in and he was really not like that. I was like, oh, okay, this is just these guys are actually into it and I can deal with that.
Yeah.
They're just Boy Scouts that like tea and And cookies.
And
who doesn't like tea and cookies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought they were adorable.
Yeah.
Because I think that in a lot of respects, that's one of the things that, while obviously this book I feel like has been written very muchly for young girls to read and to see lots of different body types and lots of different ways of being, and you can be whatever you want and all of that sort of stuff. I think that that element sort of recognises the fact that, hey, if boys read this, is cool too, and this would be a great chance for us to show boys in different ways. Although some variety amongst them would have been nice.
Just
that would have been nice.
when everyone else read this panel, did they struggle to read what it said? This middle one?
What was on the wall?
No, this one. It says gasp.
Oh, does it?
Maybe I didn't notice.
But because
I probably was just looking at the
shoulder
picture and
pads
going, it's making
match-
a funny noise.
Because her shoulder pads are like the same color as the text, I thought it said as goop. And I stared at it for such a long time, and then I was like, oh,
It does look like it says as group.
Yeah.
It does look like it, yeah. I can't actually remember having a problem, but I'm not sure
I think I was too concentrated on the rest of the page, whereas because it's the one with all the temple, all the letters everywhere. So I think I was concentrating more on that. Even though
That may have been why I stared at it for such a long time, because I'd spent such a long time staring at the temple wall, and then I was like, wait, what does this say? Is this a secret message too? I don't understand what's happening.
I think I probably just saw her face and just assumed it said gasp without actually really looking at it. Because when you point it out, I'm reading it as goop, but I don't remember noticing that at the time. So I probably just
It's just a very weird stylistic choice.
I think, like you don't, like you said, Kirsten, it doesn't need the words to communicate what's going on. So
yeah.
And then having them framed in, having them written ASGP just makes it even weirder.
Yeah.
Like it didn't need to be there to begin with.
No. Big reaction though.
Yeah.
I love how in the next panel, Molly and Ripley are like bouncing, and Ripley's just like, I don't know what this is about, but I'm just doing it anyway because we're bouncing. Ripley was just a joy.
Maybe we should pee on some stuff.
Yeah, maybe we should pee on some stuff because what to say?
I must admit, she's a joy because she's a character in a book rather than a child I'm actually having to take care of.
Yes.
Pee on seams. That's right. We should pee on stuff.
Does anyone feel like, especially in the scenes when they're in after the water monster, and then the going into the cave and everything, that would have been pretty stressful, but they all deal with it pretty well. I mean, Molly has a little bit of a freak out, but it's nothing that sort of is particularly impinging on the group. Does anyone feel like that's a little bit unrealistic, the depiction of what 5 very young females in this circumstance would have been like?
Yeah, I don't think they're going for realism though.
No, I don't think I'm going for realism. So yeah, I gave that. I did sort of think that is like, this is not realistic, but it's a lot of fun.
It's definitely a lot of fun, but I liked it regardless of my thinking that, because I was just like, it's a good representation of the fact that you can just get through this sort of thing and be nice to each other. You don't have to bite.
Yes.
It's weird that the Yeti only has 2 eyes when all of the other
I think
have 3.
Yeah. I think the other animals are like controlled. I think that third eye that turns into a coin and like the thing on their Boy Scouts things, scarves are all like control devices. So I don't think the Yetis are actually controlled. I think they were just hired to do stuff. That's why they're like totally slacking off.
And I was thinking too, like the fact that they're hired to do something also might imply that they weren't native to the forest, hence maybe why no 3 eyes.
Mm. The Yetis are just hilarious.
They are.
And on the Camp for Boys sign. The symbol for the coin thing that they find is like right underneath the sign.
Is that?
See that?
Yeah.
I have to go back and look.
I just flicked through then and went, oh.
Oh, it is
Oh,
too.
hey, that's a
The
good
Camp for
sign.
Boys has got the eye.
Oh, going together.
I love that scene at the bottom of that page where April and Joe do the hand shaking. There's just so much to love about this book.
I really need to reread it before I read the next one, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long.
No, not at all.
Especially, I think, on a reread where you don't have to spend as much time like looking at all the pictures. You can just quickly go through and get the main gist.
Yeah. Yep.
How they defeat the Yetis by sharing cookies.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll give you all my cookies. I'll give you some of my cookies.
Let's be honest here.
It's like, how many cookies did you take? All of them.
I'm telling you, humans are so gross. They almost touched me.
They do look like a, total high school slackers sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the guys that might be smoking behind the gym or something.
And they get to the top of the tower and Molly's like, yep, yoink, I'll take that.
Wait, it might be, but oh, okay, it's fine. And then they leave a note. It's like, sorry, I took your bow and arrow.
We'll bring it back when we solve the mystery. XOXOXO, be LumberJanes.
With cookies on top.
I love the what's her name? Molly, who keeps it. They're like, you should keep it. You're the only one who's got your Robin Hood badge.
Yeah.
So many puns. I think that's why I love this comic so much, because there are so many puns. All of the puns, all of the time.
Yeah.
Was there something about that? It's at the last page where it's got like the writing from the guidebook and it's all about puns.
Well, she gets one of them actually gets a pun badge, doesn't she?
Yeah, when they're in the canoe, the Pungeon Master badge. Because the last page is the Pungeon Master badge.
There you go, yeah.
See, I would have totally done Girl Guides or Scouts for longer. Actually, I did Scouts until I was like 18, but I would have done Girl Guides for longer if there was a pun badge.
See, I didn't do Girl Guides or anything like that. I would have loved to do that.
I did brownies for a couple of years.
I did brownies, and then I decided it was too girly, so I went and joined Cubs, and then did Scouts and Adventurers, because I like to build tents and light fires, and Girl Guides didn't really want you to do that.
I did brownies and then guides, and like we kept getting, like our leader would keep quitting, and then we'd get a new leader, and then because the leader would be new, they didn't want to do anything too wild, so you'd have like really boring things for weeks in a row, and then just when it start to get interesting, and they'd be like, oh, let's make a campfire and cook, marshmallows, or make damper and stick it on the end of sticks and all that crap, which was actually fun. By the time they sort of got to that, then that person would end up quitting, and then we'd get somebody else, and I don't know. We did a couple of camps and stuff. I never really got any badges though, because like you get this little book, and I remember flicking through it and going, oh no, too much effort. No, too much effort.
See, just so many of the badges for brownies, at least, were, either
I know, I got
or that cooking or those sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was very much like help an old lady across the street. She might not want my help, and I was too shy to do something like that. And when you'd have to come across the opportunity that there's an old lady that needs helping across the street.
I could get that one. I could get that one. I do that at work.
I got a first aid badge.
Well, see,
and
I
a
lived out at
pharmacy
Logan
badge.
Village at the time.
I got a
There was no real like.
You need help any little old
Sorry.
ladies across the street.
Well, there was no real streets to help little old ladies across. Like, there was no like. It wasn't like. If you didn't drive to the shops and the shops were with the shopping, like with the car park, like you weren't crossing a street to get to it. But yeah, there was just a lot of pointless badges that I did not enjoy.
Yeah, I just didn't do most of them. But
So I was quite happy with all of it. I quite enjoyed it. My problem was just when we moved and I just didn't want to have to rejoin and make new friends all over again. I was like, this is hard work. I'd already done it twice because we'd gone from Raymond Terrace to Catherine, and then to have to do it a third time in Darwin, I was just like, screw this.
Well, I was the first girl to join my local cub group. And there was this big thing with some of the parents of the boys that were already in the group. They're like, girls can't join. I'm like, watch me, motherfuckers. Wow.
It's Cubs, not Scouts.
In a lot more polite terminology. I was like, yeah, I'm going to join and you can't stop me. And they were like, well, you're going to make our boys stop doing boy things. I'm like, no, I want to do the boy things. I want to go tie knots and build fires and, you know, go hiking in the bush and that sort of stuff. That's stuff that I want to do. That's why I'm joining.
yeah.
It's like, if I didn't want to do those things, I wouldn't be joining.
It's like, I'm not going to help stop your boys from doing the boy things that they like to do. I'm going to encourage them.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, we went off on a tangent, but the last page with the like, you have failed me, with the like leader of the boys camp, very foreboding.
But, well, and the way he says it though, it's like, it's almost like there's a beat. Like next time we'll be prepared, because you know that's the Cub Scout, the Boy Scout motto: be prepared.
Yeah.
And it's like I could just almost hear him saying it, and it's like.
Well, even how he's
like a beat.
It looks like he's winking while he's doing it because you can only see one glowing eye.
Being prepared. Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, the pun on the next page.
And he's got the nose as well.
So odd.
You see one eye and the weird nose. The mouth.
I've got to say, though, I really feel for Jen through a lot of this. I was just like, poor Jen.
Yeah, poor Jen.
I could have gone and been a counselor at NASA.
I like them all saying "what the junk" all the time too. What the junk?
Yeah.
It's just a really well-built world with lots of little things that are really great. Maybe we should do Lud badges. Ooh.
Like the bingo thing that badges. You know, like if you read.
Yeah, like
you could get the sci-fi badge by reading, 10 sci-fi books in a year or whatever.
Yeah.
That might be a number.
Yeah.
It'd be kind
Well,
of
we'll leave that with you, Mel. You seem really excited about that idea.
Yeah, read 20 Lud picks and then, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you attend a certain number of hangouts, or when you have read a certain number of the books, or when you've read a particular book that's got this kind of element in it, or blah 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 blah. Ooh.
We'll leave this organisation with you, Mel. You're good at organising.
Yeah, thanks so much, Kirsten.
Well, I mean, it would be really interesting to do it as like digital badges, like have like like you could do like a group website with digital badges where, you log your books or whatever, and then you get badges assigned to you as you've done stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I have to find a way to do it. Like I'm making up the badges, and then you get actual like a little picture-y thing, which is your badge, and you get it. And I'm getting way too excited about this.
Oh my God. You'll have a version of this, but on Kobo you get badges as you progress through reading. So there's one for like reading mass quantities and reading at certain times of the day and reading blah percent
Really?
of the library and all of that. That's why I actually stuck with Kobo, because I really
Yeah.
like getting achievements for reading.
That's why I like
Going
that
back on
Audible
Big
as well.
Kobo instead of Quick Kindle.
Goodreads should have something like that, like, you know,
Yeah, that's what
read
I'm thinking.
X many books by this author, or read
Oh.
so many comics in a month, or, you know, that sort of thing. Like
just gonna
having
open
something
up
like
and-
Goodreads where you can like, where they like assign you badges after you've like done a certain amount of things. I mean, yeah, I know some people would like gyp the system by being like, no, I totally read all these books.
But see,
But
like, that's the thing about our
There is
group. I don't think we would do that.
like digital badges websites where you can do digital badges and give them to people.
That's cool.
we might be getting a little bit excited about this.
Yeah, yeah.
We need an LDUH
A what?
Yeah.
an app.
An app.
Oh.
Yes, we do. Ooh.
That's something I might be able to build. I have been learning how to build phone apps.
Now, Naomi, you and I need to talk. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm just taking down all of these ideas for badges.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But it would be really interesting to like be able to, not only with the bingo, which kind of has a, you know, I like getting achievement points. Like if I play a game that has achievements, I will definitely be playing the fuck out of that game. But if I like start playing a game and I'm like, oh, you don't have achievements, I'll stop playing.
But I think that's
100%.
I think that's why I stopped playing Pokemon, because after a while it's like there's nothing much happening. I'm just collecting Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm still playing, because I
Like,
haven't found them all yet. I think once I've gotten all of them, I'll be like, yeah, okay, I don't care anymore.
The problem is the ones I'm missing require an awful lot of effort to get it. From what I understand, to get a Lapras, you actually have to hatch a 10k egg. Hatching
Yeah, I
multiple
got a
10k
Lapras.
eggs is painful.
I was just lucky that I hatched one.
See, I haven't been lucky, and I've been working at it.
Dude,
The
look
hard
what I
thing
hatched
is not
today.
so much. The hard thing
You know
is
what I
not so much like hatching eggs. The thing is like getting things like the Mr. Mime, which you can only
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
in France or in Europe, and then
Europe,
the
yeah.
tourist that
Can
you
you
can
see
only
it?
get.
Yeah, I can
in-
see it. You got Clefairy. No, not Clefairy.
No,
A Clef.
it's the baby one.
It's the one that
Chancy.
you hatched.
it's so clever. Sorry, when it was.
No, I don't
I
have
can't
a
even
Chansey.
open my app at the moment. My app
Matt
won't
has a
even work at
Chansey.
the moment. I have a couple of Dittos.
I have one. And this has just evolved into a talk about Pokemon. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's okay. I've gotten used to it at this point.
I have to take Puppy for a walk tomorrow so I can get some kilometers on my eggs.
Yeah,
But oh, it's been so hot. I have not wanted to leave the house.
yeah. But yes, I like the idea of the book reading achievement badges. I'm going to Google book reading achievement badges and see what comes up.
But I mean, like, it's something that would be really good with something like Goodreads, because it's like already mostly set up. You would just have to like, you know, because you can. It already sort of tells you, you know, you've read this many books by this author, or you've read this many books in this category, or you've read this many comics by this, you know. Like, those are filters that it already has built in. So adding like achievement badges to connect to that wouldn't be like, it's not that hard of a step. Like, that's the easiest step to make. They've already done the hard part by creating all the filters in the database.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly I just want the Goodreads database so I can just like put it into my app and then I'll make, because that's a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I remember something being mentioned on BookTube. Somebody pulls the data out of Goodreads. So maybe there is a way to do that.
API, because it does have an API. That's what it is. Use the API to pull data out.
All the data.
Unless they use APIs to get like the ISBNs and everything too. But yeah, they do actually have APIs in Goodreads.
So overall, before I end the live part of the hangout, we all enjoy the book and very much looking forward to reading the next one next month.
Yes,
Definitely.
How would we all feel about possibility of doing like 2 volumes instead?
we could do
It
that.
doesn't take a long time to read, so.
No.
And I have bought.
I
think I've got 3.
I've got the first 4 because they were cheap on Comixology. So
Yeah, Matt said
I
he
was
bought
like,
4, but I only have 3, so I don't know whether he didn't buy it. He thought he bought the 4th one and he didn't. I don't know. Because his account is on my account, but I can't remember his password, so.
Well, you only need 3 for what we're talking about anyway, so.
Yeah.
So we're going to do 2 and 3 for next month.
2 and 3, I'll update the event. But that way it just gives us a bit more to talk about because I feel like while it's a really good comic and I really enjoyed it, I feel like to do a hangout like this, it's not really enough of the story to sort of have a good conversation about where things are going.
But I think it's also still a good idea to start with just one because if it doesn't work out as being very good, it's easy to read one. Whereas if you read the first one and you hate it, you don't kind of want to do more. So
yeah. So we can read so every other month we'll do 2 and then every you know, like so 1, 2, 1, 2 if it's good. Like we don't even need to do like if we read one and we're like, wow, this is a really junky comic, I don't want to ever read it again, we can just completely choose something else to read too. Like we don't need to read volume 2 just because we read volume 1.
Those circumstances, we could do something like say, well, hey guys, we didn't finish doing all of what's available from LumberJanes. How about we replace this now with volume 4 and 5 of LumberJanes?
Yeah.
So is everyone happy with that sort of idea? We sort of have a quick discussion about what we're going to do for the next month at the end.
Sounds good.
Yes, that sounds good. And hopefully,
and I think it works
my
well
goal
too,
this year too.
Yeah, I think it works well too because most likely the people who will come to the second one will be the people who came to the first one as well. So it's not a big deal if we change it up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
While on that
Well,
topic,
I'm
Renee, did you want to talk about the other idea that you had for a 4th hangout?
Oh, good God.
I know there were some people at the end of last year that they were talking about wanting to do either a like anime or a movie sort of hangout once a month. I was thinking on the week we don't have a book hangout or a comic hangout, if we want to, like, even if it's every second month, like watch some anime or watch a movie and then do a hangout to discuss it.
Yeah.
I can't even remember who was talking about it, but someone was talking about it. I think it was in our Christmas hangout.
Chrissy may have mentioned it.
Yeah, I was going to say Chrissy.
Maybe.
She suggested the one for doing a Yuri
first person to mention.
Speaking of which, maybe we should organise that for next week because we don't have anything on next week.
We can do one. We can do one for Yuri next week.
Yeah,
because it's a short sort of series. Like it's only 10 episodes, so it's sort of easy for everyone to catch up.
Anything but the other two you guys suggested to me because I hated them. My God.
What was the other 2?
Which other one?
Which other 2?
One I actually watched the whole 2 seasons of, which was the boys swimming. It was free.
Okay.
I actually watched the whole thing because I was just like, it's not terrible, but whatever. I started the first episode of the other one, which was the one with the girl who ships boys who like her.
Kiss him, not me.
Yes. Oh my God, that started.
That thing was hilarious.
No, I was so angry. I was ranty over the start of that thing. Oh my God, I was so angry.
One?
Kiss him, not me.
Oh, okay. No, I've not watched that either.
Don't.
But yeah, if we want to do,
now I'm interested to hear about what you're ranting about because I haven't seen it. But.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you because, in all honesty, it's like right at the beginning. It wasn't even 10 minutes in before I gave up on it. So the whole thing starts out. It's not even her shipping the boys, although that's a whole other problematic issue. So the story starts out, and she's this fat, chubby girl who's shipping the boys at her school. Like these, she calls them. It's pretty common in Japanese animes to call the hot boys a prince. And so she ships the princes together. She wants them to kiss each other, and she looks for the tiny little clues that they're interested in each other, and she goes completely over the top. Anyway, that's not the important part, although that's the storyline, and it's really, yeah. Anyway, no, the problem was that she starts off as this chubby girl, and she's walking around, she's got a deep muffled voice, she's walking, and as always in Japan, you know, it's awful when you're fat and that sort of stuff. So what happens is one of her favorite characters in a show dies, and she goes into complete tailspin and won't leave her bedroom for a week. The family finally kick down the door. She hasn't eaten in a week, and they come in, and she's lost all the weight, and she's completely skinny, and she's gorgeous. Still not my problem, by the way. Do not like this element, but I'm still not my problem. No, my problem is her voice changed. She went from being deep and muffled because she's fat to high-pitched and sweet because she's skinny.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Sorry, my cat just laid down on my desk and almost fell off. I had to catch him. His butt went he sort of rolled and almost fell off the edge of the desk, and I had to catch him with the side of my arm.
He knows you're there.
Anyway, that was my rant.
But with that rant, we'll close off the live portion of our hangout for this evening.
Darn it!
Just so that we
need to put a Mel rant in there, right? There was no Mel rant.
Can we cut it off? Yeah.
So those of you who want to watch, next month we will be doing volumes 2 and 3 of LumberJanes, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.